everyone, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm actually going to do a full video on how I make my butter bites. My short that I made has been really popular and I've gotten a lot of questions since it's been posted. So I'm actually going to show you guys how I make them. So you're going to need 2 sticks of butter. So we use the Kirkland grass-fed butter, and 1 brick is 2 sticks of butter. You're also going to need some cute silicone molds, whatever you'd like. I have butterflies, sunflowers, and these little sun things. You also need a pot or pan to cook your butter in. And you'll also need to make room in your freezer because these have to go in the freezer to cool down. And I also keep mine in the freezer. That way they stay kind of crunchy. So that's where I store mine at. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this in half. And I'm also gonna turn my pan onto medium heat as well. I'm cutting this in half so it doesn't take as long to melt all the way through because the other, like the melted butter will melt faster, so I don't want that happening. I kind of want it to melt evenly, so I'm gonna cut this into, maybe I'll just cut it into chunks as well to help it melt a little faster. The key is to keep stirring it, otherwise it will burn. And the butter, when it's melted all the way, it's going to cook and like become foamy. And once the foam kind of dies down a little bit and you start seeing some brown build up in the pan, that's when you're done. Okay, at this stage, it's going to start bubbling and kind of foaming, and that's okay. You want to keep stirring it. That way it doesn't burn really fast onto the bottom. I forgot to mention, you're also going to need something to pour this into your molds with. I use a glass measuring cup. At this point, I'm smelling like a toffee style like smell. So that means I am cooking it. This is the point where it's kind of, we have to be cautious of not to overcook it because you can burn the butter, but it's getting that sweet toffee smell to it right now. And it is starting to brown a little bit. And you can see at the bottom of the pan, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see on video, but there are brown stuff starting to form. It's becoming more brown, so it's literally almost done. And then the butter looks like a little bit brown. You guys can see, and this is the butter, like the milk fat that has gotten melted, like cooked at the bottom. So I like to stir mine constantly while I'm pulling into my molds. That way all of my molds hopefully get evenly with the chunks down at the bottom that float. Okay, I put my molds on like a Rubbermaid lid so I can put it in my freezer without these like being flimsy, because they are, so that kind of helps. So I'm gonna just stir this up so all those chunks get mixed in, and I'm just gonna pour into the molds. So now we're gonna go put these in the freezer. And then when they are frozen solid, usually overnight, you can take them out of your molds, and I pop them in Ziploc bags, and I take a couple to work and I store them in the freezer as a snack, keep them at home. But yeah, the key is to, once you smell that toffee smell, it's literally almost done, and you don't really wanna go a little bit past that because that's when you will burn those milk solids that form. So yeah, that's how you make my carnivore butter bites, and they are delicious and amazing. And like always, don't forget that like button, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.